Why can you remember every detail of a project you didn't finish, but completely forget the one you completed yesterday? Your brain is playing a psychological trick on you, and once you understand it, you'll never work the same way again. Welcome back to the Human Script. I'm here to decode the psychology behind human behavior. Today, we're talking about the Zeigarnik Effect, the reason unfinished business haunts you, and how smart people use this to their advantage. Let's dive in. Picture this. You're binge-watching a series, and the episode ends on a massive cliffhanger. You need to know what happens next. You can't sleep, you can't focus on anything else. That's the Zeigarnik Effect in action. The Zeigarnik Effect is a psychological phenomenon where your brain obsesses over incomplete tasks and basically forgets completed ones. It's named after Bluma Zeigarnik, a Russian psychologist who discovered this in the 1920s. Here's what happened. She was sitting in a cafe and noticed waiters could perfectly remember complex orders, but only while customers were still eating. The moment the bill was paid, the order vanished from their memory. Your brain treats unfinished tasks like open browser tabs. They're running in the background, consuming mental energy, demanding attention. So, why does your brain do this? It actually comes down to survival. Your brain evolved to prioritize threats and unresolved situations. An unfinished task signals something incomplete in your environment, and evolutionarily, incomplete meant potentially dangerous. When you start a task, your brain creates what psychologists call a task-specific tension. Think of it like opening a loop. Your brain craves closure. It needs to close that loop. Until it's closed, it keeps that task active in your working memory. Research shows that incomplete tasks can occupy up to 90% more mental space than completed ones. That's why you can't stop thinking about the email you didn't send, the conversation you didn't finish, or the project that's 80% done. But here's the fascinating part. Your brain doesn't care about importance. It treats finishing a Netflix episode with the same urgency as finishing a work deadline. The loop is what matters, not the content. Now that you understand the Zeigarnik Effect, you can actually weaponize it. Here's how. Strategy 1. Stop at the good part. When you're working on a project, don't finish your work session at a natural stopping point. Stop in the middle of a sentence, mid-thought or mid-task. Hemingway famously stopped writing mid-sentence every day. Why? Because his brain would obsess over completing it, making it effortless to start the next morning. Strategy 2. Use strategic incompletion for motivation. Break big projects into smaller, incomplete chunks. Your brain will nag you to finish them. Instead of write report, try write introduction paragraph, then leave it 90% done. Strategy 3. Close loops intentionally. At the end of your day, write down everything incomplete. This tricks your brain into thinking the loop is closed because it's handled. You've acknowledged it. Studies show this reduces anxiety by up to 30%. This is why to-do lists work, not because you complete tasks, but because writing them down creates a sense of temporary closure. But here's the warning. Tech companies know about the Zeigarnik Effect, and they exploit it ruthlessly. Endless social media scrolls? No natural ending. Streaming autoplay? Never lets you close the loop. Push notifications? Open loops begging for closure. Your brain is being hacked. Be intentional about which loops you open. So here's what you need to remember. Your brain obsesses over unfinished tasks because of the Zeigarnik Effect. Use this to your advantage. Stop at the good part, create strategic incompletion, and close loops intentionally. But protect yourself from digital manipulation. Choose your open loops wisely. What incomplete task is haunting you right now? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more psychology hacks that actually work, subscribe to the Human Script. I'll see you in the next one.